Good evening, y'all. So, um, I want to get on here and talk to y'all about just today. Um, so I've been going through a divorce. Some of y'all know that I've been going through a divorce. The divorce is finalized. Um, am I happy about it? Yes and no, you know? So, um, either way, as soon as the divorce was finalized, my ex-husband moved this young girl into his house with her six dogs, and my son goes to visit on the weekends. He goes to stay with his father on the weekends, my 6-year-old. And his father has been encouraging him, along with this young girl who has no children. He's been encouraging him to call her mom. So my son has been calling this woman mom. um and I've ever since, he switched up on me and showed his wickedness and such, I've been praying. Um, I'm talking about with tears, just praying for the Father to go ahead and set him straight, set stuff straight. Um, and I'm talking about crying. I wake up sometimes from, in the morning or in the middle of the night, just struggling. But I don't regret leaving. The Father worked things out exactly the way that it was supposed to work out. Um, it could have been way harder and it could have been way worse going through this. But compared to um, the way that it could have been, the Father knew what he was doing. And he made it as um he worked it out in such a way that it wasn't it wasn't completely traumatizing. Either way, after I prayed today, which was with less detail, because normally I'm like, Father, just tear that whole property up, tear down the house, tear down, make the wheels fall off of the car, everything. Normally, um, that's how it is. But today, I said, I know you know what you're doing. I trust that you know what you're doing. And I'm leaving this with you. Um, and I, of course, have other things that I talk to him about, other things that I thank him for, other things that I ask him to help me work on. Um, and a couple of minutes later, when after I was driving, a couple of minutes later, he actually answered me and let me know that he was, and this is the first time that he's actually answered me back in a while about anything. But I guess I did it right today. Maybe I spoke to him and let go of some of my wishes and, you know, um, what I wanted to happen, and let him know that I knew that he has it. Um, but it's been really, really upsetting to have somebody just trying to upset you, Um, a few minutes later, on this group thread that me and my sister and my mother have, my mother's in New York right now. She's back home visiting. Um, but on this group text, she sent a picture of this cute little girl. And my sister was like, "Whose cute little girl is that?" And I looked at the picture and I said, "Yolanda," because I knew one of my childhood friends, she looks just like her mother. It's her 3-year-old little girl. And I knew. And my mother ended up calling on Messenger and we all talked and I got to say hello to my old childhood friend and talk to her for a little while and say hello to her daughters. I would know those girls anywhere. Walking down the street, I would know them anywhere. Um, just because I knew their mother. Um, and I imagine that's how the Father feels about us. None of his people who revered him, um, none of them are still around, but he knows us. He knows who we are. Even when we didn't know who we were, he knew who we were. Um, and I guess that's the same way that he looks at us. Um, I would do anything for them. And I can only imagine how he feels about us. I'm looking at those little girls. So, fast forward, I also, after I got off of that video call, I realized that, um, the title doesn't matter so much. My son knows his mother. Um, and I can't speak for Abba Yah, but my son knows his mother. So I'm sure some of us who haven't come into who aren't sure of the name and, who haven't, found the information, he knows their heart. And it's the same thing with my son. Um, he and I have been together since, his beginning. So he knows. Mother and children, father and children know each other. It doesn't matter how long they've been removed from one another. Um, and then I was looking and reading Baruch, and it just so happened that somebody else who I watch on YouTube was reading Baruch too. And I got to Baruch 4:27. It said, "Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto Elohim, for you shall be remembered by he who brought these upon you. For as it was your heart to go astray from him, from Elohim, so be in return, seek him 10 times more. For he who has brought these plagues upon you brings you everlasting joy with your deliverance. Take courage, O Jerusalem, for he who gave you that name shall comfort you. Those who afflicted you and rejoiced at your fall are wretched. The cities that your children served are wretched. She who received your sons is wretched. For as she rejoiced at your ruin and was glad of your fall, so she shall be grieved when she is laid waste. For I shall take away the rejoicing of her great crowd, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. For long-lasting fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, and she shall be a dwelling of demons for a long time." So it was just a day a day of praying and hitting my knees and praying and hitting my knees and praying and hitting my knees, and a day of confirmation. Just a whole lot went on today. It's been a lot that's happened today, but anywho,